Yes, people, welcome back to another stream on the channel. This is Oris Football, and this is your Game Week 23 preview, where we discuss this weekend's games. And yeah, listen, we've got a big one, obviously, the main event this weekend. And yeah, we've got other games to talk about as well, interesting games. Obviously, we've got certain clubs that have dropped points last weekend, and etc., etc. But I mean, let me not waste no time and we start adding the guests. So, first person is co-host, big Arsenal fan, big Arteta fan, and it's Manny. How you doing, Manny?
You still can't resist linking me with Arteta, can you? Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm looking forward to talking about another game week coming up, and should be a great deal of fun, this one. The only issue is that sometimes when you have these games after European matches, they either tend to be really, really good games or they're sort of forgettable ones. You very rarely see an in between. But obviously now we're at this stage where a large number of teams will be motivated to, get some points, especially those who, as you said, lost points last week. So, a lot to look forward to.
No, 100%. Another guest with us. Oh, he's not in the studio. I think he'll be back soon. But yeah, don't worry, Harry. He's back now. He's back. And it's Harry. How you doing, Harry?
I'm good. Sorry about that. I had an audio for a second there, so it's hard to even rejoin. But yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to this stream. Thank you very much for having me on the channel once again. Really appreciate it. And of course, big up to you too, and of course people in chat as well. And it should be a decent stream tonight, hopefully.
Big up to you. It's always nice to see you as well. But yeah, before we obviously talk and bring the games up for this weekend, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash the likes. And yeah, it should be a good one tonight, the stream. Lots of games to talk about. So might as well get started. So this obviously is your Game Week 23 preview. So first one is, will the Hammers' survival hope be further torn asunder? West Ham United versus Sunderland.
Ooh. You saw the play on words there, didn't you, Iris?
Yeah. Harry, let me go with you first. What do you think?
I think it's going to be quite an interesting game. Of course, West Ham desperately needing a point start there. I think they got a massive win last night away to Tottenham, who their home form has been dreadful this season at Spurs. So if that was a real disappointing result for them, losing to West Ham, who have really struggled all season so far, but they seem to be bringing together a little bit of form recently. And Sunderland, they struggled on the road all season so far. So for my prediction, I'm going to go for a draw here. I reckon it'll be West Ham 1, Sunderland 1 in the 12:30 kickoff.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Manny, what about you?
Yeah, I think Harry nailed it perfectly when he said that, given that Spurs' home record has been absolutely horrible, it shouldn't really be much of a surprise that teams have been able to get some results over there. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, of course, Fulham, Chelsea, and now recently, of course, West Ham United. But, West Ham, of course, are, I wouldn't say cut adrift, but they're still some distance away from Forest in 17th, and Forest are also quite, dire at the moment. So it's very difficult to see West Ham, improving unless they really start to go on the run. And they're up against the Sunderland team that, for all of their away struggles, have somehow managed to do more than enough to make sure that they won't get relegated. I don't see Sunderland securing European qualification, though. I think they will probably end up finishing in the mid-table region, which wouldn't be a bad return at all. And this is actually one game where, West Ham need to win, but I just think Sunderland are going to have a lot more about them, especially with their AFCON stars having returned well in time. I can only see a Sunderland win. It will be a narrow win, don't get me wrong. I'm going for a 2-1 win for the Mackhams.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a Sunderland win here. I think West Ham, obviously, they got a good result against Tottenham. That was brilliant 3 points for them. Not so good for Tottenham themselves, but yeah. However, obviously, I know West Ham did beat Tottenham, but Sunderland, I think they're gonna come in and just get the 3 points. So I'm gonna go money here. I'm gonna say 2-1 as well. 2-1 Sunderland. Josh, big up to you as well. Good to see you. And Chelsea says big up Orest, Harry, Manny, my friends. Big up to you, Chelsea fan, as well. Okay then. That's all predictions locked in for that game. Moving on to the next one. Will Spurs continue to ride the European high, or will they crash and burn? Burnley versus Tottenham Hotspur. Nice one then.
Another
Manny.
play on words there.
Oh, then, Manny, what's your thoughts for this one?
Yeah, first of all, another reminder to everyone in the chat, don't feel ashamed to put your predictions in. And I already see that Chelsea fans given his prediction. He agrees with you, Harry. It might be a 1-1 draw between West Ham and Sunderland. So, Josh, you're effectively the tiebreaker for now, at least. And as far as Spurs are concerned, well, I've got some friends in the online, Spurs sphere who pretty much can't seem to fathom how Spurs can be so pathetic in the league but still do quite well in Europe. And frankly, it's an indicator that the standard of European football has pretty much, gone downhill, especially in European competitions. You're in a situation now where many all 6 European teams have a chance of making the next stage. They should make the next stage, even if they have to go through the playoffs. And of course, even Forest, for all of their failings, are still in with a shout of reaching the knockout stages, but it will be via the playoffs. But they're up against a Burnley team right now that are still continuing to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And it's like whoever the manager is, Burnley will continue to huff and puff, but they just can't blow the house down. Maybe they get some points here and there. I just can't see them, sadly, maintaining the strength and the concentration needed to pick up the points they need to help them rise above even West Ham in the table. And this is a game also which, Thomas Frank simply has to win. Otherwise, there'll be very serious doubts about his future, notwithstanding how well his team are doing in Europe. This is a game where there will be goals on both sides. And of course, Burnley do have Marcus Edwards on their books, who is a former Tottenham youth player, I believe. Scott Parker also played for Spurs back in the day. And I can only see this being a 2-1 win for the Hotspurs. But if they fail to win, the catcalls against Thomas Frank are only going to get even louder.
No, 100%. Obviously, Josh goes with 2-1 Sunderland, and then he also predicts 1-0 to Burnley as well. Okay, interesting. Harry, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, man, you got it spot on there. I mean, this really is a game that seems like a must-win for Thomas Frank at Tottenham, away to Burnley, who been picking up a few points here and there, as Manny mentioned as well. I believe a 1-1 draw against Liverpool in the last game, but points are only going to just picking up 1 point is only going to get them so far. They desperately need to win soon if they want to stand any chance of getting out of this bottom 3. They've only won 3 Premier games all season. Obviously, Tottenham, on the flip side, they're awful home form. They're second in the league, only behind Arsenal for away form. So I think they will get the job done here. I think they keep a clean sheet as well. I'm going to say 2-0 to Spurs away at Turf Moor.
Okay, interesting. We got another prediction from the comments from Chelsea. He also predicts Tottenham to win 2-1. I'm going to say this one's interesting because Tottenham need to win, but they also needed to beat West Ham, and they didn't. So that Turf Moor. I'm going to say 1-1. I think Tottenham drop points, and Frank, you could be in an utterly really bad situation here. So yeah, man. I don't. The thing is, Burnley. Well, obviously, I know United. We played them, and obviously we didn't get the win. But I think Burnley will be up for it. Tottenham, some of the players just don't bother to me. So yeah, there's some players in future in this guy is 50-50, half of them. So yeah, I think Tottenham drop points in 1-1 for me. Points shared between two teams, and obviously Josh predicts a Burnley win, which is let's see. Okay, moving on. We've got European qualification, 6 points between two mid-table teams, which is Fulham and Brighton. Okay, yeah, they are. This is a game, yeah, interesting one. I think because Fulham, Brighton, they've both been mid as obviously it says in Brighton. So, obviously Brighton knocked down the FA Cup. I hate to say it again, but yeah, they did. Right, Burnley says Josh, fair enough. Also, Fulham, they've been okay. Fulham, I'd say so. So, yeah, in terms of score prediction, I'm gonna say 2-2 here. 4 goals, for me. Yeah, I think we're gonna see 4 goals here for me. Harry, what are you?
Yeah, I can see it potentially being a draw in this one. See Fulham losing away to Leeds 1-0 in their last game. That's only been their one defeat in their last 7 games, so they've gone on a pretty decent beating run up until that point. Whereas on the flip side, Brighton, they've only won 1 game in 9 Premier League games, which is they need to win soon, definitely. But they have picked up some good draws. The 1-1 draw away at the Etihad against a stumbling Man City side at the moment, and I think they get the same result here at Quidditch. I think I'm going to say 1-1. I think 2 very similar sides. I can't cancel them out, so I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Fair enough. Money.
Yeah, I think the mood from the chat is this could be a draw, but I'm actually going to go for one team to win, and it won't be a team which either of you expect. It's funny about Fulham this season because at one point they were having a very bad run of form, which saw them also potentially being sucked into a relegation dogfight, but then an excellent run of wins has saw them climb away from danger for now. They tend to blow very, very hot and cold. And just when you think that they could be in with a shout for European qualification after several years, they just end up flattering to deceive. As far as Brighton are concerned, obviously last time around they salvaged a draw against the luckless Bournemouth with a 90th minute winner from one of their super subs, I believe. He actually came on for Danny Welbeck, if memory serves me right. And I just think that Brighton seem to, at this moment, have a little bit of purpose about them. And obviously the return of Pascal Gross, the prodigal son, as it were, has really coincided with an upturn in form. And I actually believe that although these two sides are in similar positions in the table with Fulham above Brighton at the moment, I actually think Brighton at this point have the bit between their teeth. And I'm actually going to go for a Brighton win, and I'm going to predict 2-1. And this win could very well end up being the start of Brighton trying to rise up the table with some good games to play in the hope that they can get a European spot. As things stand, of course, they are 5 points behind Manchester United, who occupy the Europa League spot. And I think 6th will get you into the Conference League. So, I mean, you see that huge block of teams between 4th and 12th. Just 6 points separate the 4th and the 12th placed teams. So it's that so much far open. And then you have City and Villa on 43 points each. Arsenal running away with it 7 points ahead. But as we will talk about, anything can happen. But in a nutshell, Brighton to win this one 2-1. And I think they just got that bit between their teeth, as I've said.
Yeah, 100%. Going for the comments, Josh says 1-1. And then also we got a prediction from Josh that says Fulham 2, Brighton 2. He's gone the same with me. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. This one should be an interesting game. Obviously, like Harry mentioned, Fulham coming over after losing to Leeds, and then Brighton they're on a bit of form, I think. So yeah, let's see how that game pans out tomorrow. Moving on, we've got City to regain their stride against resurgent Wolves. I mean, listen, Manchester City, what on earth happened to them this weekend? Because if you guys seen it, but Bodo Glimt absolutely destroyed them. And people have to bear in mind that Bodo Glimt's season was already done. That the Norwegian league finished in October, November, and for them to perform like that, I mean, yeah, for me, I already admitted way before that this is Arsenal's title. It is their title to lose now, but City right now, obviously, I know they just signed Mark Guehi, but you can't really. Pep's a weird one for me because you recall Max Delaney, who just obviously was on loan from Watford, but you had Akanji that you can recall. You had other players, other like experienced players you're gonna recall, but to recall Max Delaney, I think that's just a bit of a silly one. But yeah, I mean, look, City obviously they've signed Martin Guehi. I think he might be in contention for this weekend, but listen, it's starting to fall apart for City because obviously last weekend Michael Carrick absolutely dominated them, and then they go to Norway and they lose 3-1 to Bodo Glimt. So they need to start picking up some form, City. If they want to win this time, they need to start winning, and then start from here. But you know what? I can see a surprise here. I really can. Obviously, Manny's shaking his head, but I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves.
No chance, Orest. No chance. Wolves have been on a very good run of form. I think they got. I think they managed to get a few draws and a brilliant win over West Ham United, but it just isn't really enough for them at this rate. And I think obviously their poor form at the beginning of the season has cost them. And they are resurgent now, but you cannot underestimate the impact that Guehi will have on the team, especially if he slots right in, because defensively in the last few games, Manchester City have been absolutely diabolical. I don't see Pep recalling Akanji for the same reason he won't recall Jack Grealish, because I think it's fair to say that both of those players have pretty much, done their dash under him. He recalled Alain because he felt that maybe he could, get something out of him, but clearly he was proved wrong. But adding Guehi into their team and waiting for some of their other defenders to come back, I think Guehi will definitely slot well into the team. He'll fit in quite perfectly. He will certainly enjoy having John Stones as a teammate for club as well as country. And this is the team that now knows that they've been in this situation before, and they have to make sure that they start winning again. And big up to Leon. Sorry about Forest's fortunes of late. We're going to talk about them in a minute, and you're welcome to say whatever you'd like as well. But City have to start winning somewhere, and if they fail to win against Wolves, and that is their title hopes done and dusted, because there's no way that they can come back either emotionally or physically from this. But they will win, and it'll be 3-1. And I actually think that it could be that Haaland gets rested for this game, Erling Haaland, and maybe someone like an Omar Marmoush will come in. But, there are some problems with City, and they are going to have to, really just start getting their act together on and off the field.
Yeah, 100%. Leon says I went to the match. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, I was going to help you enjoy it, but hopefully you at least had a good day out, like, apart from football. But yeah, Harry, what about you? What do you think?
See, I kind of agree with yours. I can kind of see a bit of a shot happening. I just think Wolves are going to set up to be obviously trying to be hard to beat, try and frustrate this Man City team, which are struggling to get results. To try and push Arsenal at the top of the league, and now it's a 7-point gap, which is, I mean, if you come back from a 7-point gap, then that's remarkable and fair play to them. But I just can't see them doing it, unfortunately. And I think this will be the start of Arsenal looking like that they could secure the Premier League title very soon. I just think it'll be a stalemate, 0-0 draw. I just think Wolves is going to pull off a real good defensive performance and earn themselves possibly a valuable point away at the Etihad. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 maybe a bit of a surprise, but yeah, I just think Wolves will be very difficult for the City team to break down. So yeah, that's why I go on with 0-0 draw.
0-0 draw. Fair enough. Leon mentioned that it was a good trip and it was other than the result. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, listen, Wolves, come on, man. Come on, Wolves. Strand Larson, you know what to do, man. Just Strand Larson has to think, you know what, that back four of City's defence is weak. So he has to go for it. So Strand Larson, mate, you have to be up for him. Wolves, they are unbeaten this year. As it stands right now, obviously, but could change tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, look, let's see what happens. Football's a crazy game, so yeah, we could see some Rob Edwards masterclass, or we could see a 5-0 City win. But yeah, no, listen. Yeah, I'm back in Wolves. But yeah, I've not missed a single game this season as Leon. Oh, fair play to you, man. Proper Forest fan there. Big up to you. Okay, I think that's all our predictions locked in, which it is. Moving on. Oh, we got a big one here. Liverpool to continue recovery against luckless Cherries. This is at the Vitality Stadium. And yeah, listen, interesting game, this one. Bournemouth, Liverpool. Bournemouth, I've not been impressed like that much from compared to last season, when they went on a bit of a run. But Bournemouth are a team where it's funny, like they could drop points to let's just say they drop points to, I don't know, Palace or Fulham. But then when a big team comes up, they perform. So I'm not saying Bournemouth are going to win it, but it won't surprise me because Liverpool have been absolutely horrendous. They've been terrible, but I'm going to get onto Liverpool, not Liverpool's prediction in the Champions top 5 thing, but yeah, I think Bournemouth can get something. I think they can get a draw. I know they lost to Menyo, but I still think they can get a draw here. So I'm actually gonna go for 1-1 here. Yeah, I think Bournemouth can do it because looking at Liverpool's performances, it's not been it. It's not been good. I know they won in the Champions League, which might give them a boost for this weekend. But for me, when I look at Liverpool's performances recently in the Premier League, yeah, obviously they drew to Burnley at Anfield. I mean, yeah, I expect the same thing, really. I expect a draw. Bournemouth could win it. You never know, but for me, I'm sticking with 1-1. Harry, what do you think?
Yeah, obviously Liverpool looking to win in for the first time in the Premier League in, I think it's 3 games. We had 3 draws in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, obviously Bournemouth currently sitting in mid-table. I don't believe they're going to get dragged into the relegation zone. But I think it's it's a big summer for them because they've lost all these big players like Semenyo, like I mentioned, the rest, and obviously going back to summer where they lost all those big defensive players. So really, it's might be a bit of a summer to rebuild for Bournemouth. But yeah, against Liverpool sides, I think it's going to be a tight game. But I think Liverpool just win on quality. I'm saying 2-1 to Liverpool at the Vitality here.
Yeah, before I get to Manny, I don't know if you guys seen it today, but Andy Robertson's actually gone to Tottenham. Who would have thought? Andy Robertson moving to Tottenham Hotspur? What do you guys, Manny? What do you think about that transfer move and also the game itself, Bournemouth Liverpool?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Orest. I mean, what we know now is that they're still in talks in an effort to sign him. I don't think anything's been finalised. There has been one that has been finalised, I believe, if news is correct, and we'll talk about that later. But obviously, Milos Kerkez returning to the Vitality, that's another subplot in itself. Liverpool would be crazy to let Andrew Robertson leave, and I said this in the chat. Yes, he may be in the last year of his contract. He'll be leaving at the end of the summer anyway. So I'm not too sure what Liverpool are going to gain from him unless Spurs are willing to splash out an obscene amount of cash to get him. And he's going into a team that's already fairly well stocked with left backs in Destiny Udogie and Pedro Porro. The Brazilian Sosa has also joined. So where would Robbo play? I'd have no idea. But apparently they want him for his leadership. For Pete's sake. I mean, it just goes to show that, all sorts of ridiculous stuff can really happen. And especially with doubt still persisting over Kerkez, although he has seemed to have improved, Robbo will still have a role to play, especially with Liverpool also in the hunt for European success this season, even if the Premiership is, out of the question. And as far as Bournemouth are concerned, they're just luckless at the moment. They deserve to be a lot higher in the table than they are, but clearly I think a few things have sort of affected them, knocked them off their stride. They should have beaten Brighton, but conceded that late equaliser. And against a Liverpool team that also will have Mohamed Salah back and will be determined to try to regain some of their, standing, even if their last game they had a rather disappointing 1-1 draw against relegation-threatened Burnley. I don't see the Cherries really holding on out for this. It could end up a draw, but in all likelihood, I think when you've got the likes of Szoboszlai and Salah and others in your team, when they're on song, I think they will do quite well. So I think Chelsea fans gone for a 2-1 Liverpool win, and that is exactly what I'm going for. I see both teams really giving it a good go, but Liverpool just coming out on top.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. For me, listen, last thing before we move on, but Robertson going to Tottenham, it's baffled me because when I saw that, I was like, what on earth are Liverpool doing? But they are looking to, big up Even and Jonathan, I'll be doing well, my friend. I'll be doing well, big up to you, Jonathan. But yeah, they are looking to recall Tsimikas, I believe. So let's see how that develops. But yeah, it's a weird one. It's really, really weird. So yeah, before we move on, I would just like to send my praise to Konate. Obviously, he's announced on his Instagram story that his dad has passed away. So Konate, we are with you. Send her, because that's very heartbroken to hear about that. So yeah, Konate. Hopefully you are. I'm sending my praise to you, Konate, because it's awful when I hear that. So yeah, even as a rival fan, we have to come together with this when things like this. So yeah, Konate, I'm sending my prayers and wish you and your family all the best, man.
I agree. And as a Muslim, I will also say Inna ilahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. In Arabic, it means we come from the Almighty, and to the Almighty we return. And that is normally what you say as a mark of condolences to people who are in the Muslim faith.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. But yeah, I've not missed any comments. That's good, cool. But yeah, big up, Jonathan. Feel free to share your score predictions and your thoughts, because we are in halfway through now. But yeah, Bournemouth Liverpool should be. This is this 3 p.m. or 5:30? Bournemouth Liverpool. Let me check. Let me double check. I should have just checked before. Live score tomorrow. Bournemouth. Oh, okay, yeah. Bournemouth Liverpool. It is 5:30. Okay, cool. 5:30 UK time. All right, cool. I'll be having my eyes on that one. Hopefully Bournemouth can do something for me. Right, moving over. We've got a big one here. There we go. Buzz and Bees to sting toppling trees. You almost got me there, Manny, man. You almost got me there. Yeah. I mean, listen, this is a good game, because Brentford, they're not right now. They're down a form. Forest, however, have obviously they lost one. I believe it was 1-0. Leon says 2-1 Forest, fair enough. I believe it was 1-0 in the Europa League match. Elliot Anderson got sent off because whatever he said to the ref, he got red card for that. Which obviously still they haven't explained what exactly was said, but I'm sure it was something which the red card. So yeah, I mean, look, Brentford. Obviously, I expect them to drop off, because I know that in the table shows that they're somewhere in the top 6. But I expect them to drop off soon. But Keith Andrews has been breaking stats and records, which is good, because a lot of people, including myself, by the way, as soon as he came in, I said they're not going to be doing anything amazing under him, because he's He's only a set piece manager. He's only a set piece coach, and he's gone from a set piece to a first team coach. So, you know what? Fair play, and all credits goes to him. But yeah, I think Brentford can win this game. So I'm gonna go. Chelsea fan knows already. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brentford for me. I think Thiago's gonna score because he's absolutely been scoring goals right, left, and centre. So yes, I'm gonna say 2-1 Brentford win here. Forest on the dash. I mean, listen. There's been a lot of like people saying that Dash might get the sack soon, but I doubt it, man. I really doubt it. I think players need to step up now for Dash. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Brentford winning. So I think it'll be a great one for them. So yeah, Harry, over to you.
Yeah, I think obviously Brentford's home form has been fantastic this season, and Forest are on. They're really on a low right now. You know, I think they're just low on confidence. You know, they're losing far too many games. You know, if they carry on like this, they could find themselves. You know, they could find themselves still flirting with relegation. You know, if West Ham continue to pick up some results. So, listen, I can't see their fortunes to turn around here, going away to the ground where it's so tough to get anything. I believe Man City have beaten Brentford at the Cheetah this season. So, yeah, I think Brentford keep a clean sheet. I think they win quite comfortably. I'm going to say 2-0. And, hopefully Thiago scores some goals for my FPL as well. But, yeah, 2-0 to Brentford, I'm saying, in this one.
Fair enough. Money.
Yeah, I'm also very interested to hear what Leon will have to say about Forest's season. I think after the initial high under Sean Dyche, with getting a few wins in Europe and having some good performances, they've just gone really so far backwards. It's kind of scary. And last night was a wonderful opportunity for them to try to do whatever they could to secure passage into the knockout stages of the Europa League, but they just didn't really look the part against Braga, and it was 55 seconds of madness from that missed penalty from Morgan Gibbs-White to that rather comical Ryan Yates own goal. Forest had a few chances, but just couldn't get it. And there's seems to be a growing dissatisfaction among the fans with the way Dyche and his assistants, Stone and Wone, are doing things. Obviously, all three of them have a big Nottingham Forest connection, although Dyche didn't really make a senior appearance for them in the league, I think. And I don't see him necessarily getting sacked immediately, but if Forest fail to make the knockout stages of the Europa League and they're still stuck where they are, it could very well be that he might get sacked before the end of the season and someone will just, take charge and say, you know what, let's stick till the end of the season and then take it from there. Ideally, they shouldn't be in danger of relegation, but it's sort of crazy to think that they still could be if West Ham or even Burnley go on a good run of form. As for Brentford, well, they're not missing Thomas Frank at all, and they're still continuing to do quite well, and the likes of Sade and others are really stepping up. I think Jordan Henderson might still be, slightly out of it. I don't know if he's injured or not been picked, but we'll have to see how things develop. But against Forest, I'm also looking forward to seeing them win. And it'll be a win. It might be tight. I know that Jonathan has predicted that Igor Thiago will continue to cook and definitely score. But Forest, once they play their first team on Sunday, I think they will be defensively stronger. I still think Brentford will win this. So 2-1 to the Bees.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, Jonathan on Brentford, Thiago to cook. Joseph on Brentford 2-1 and Leon predicts 2-1 Forest. Okay. Yeah, I think we've all gone with Brentford winning, which is good.
Leon's gone for 2-1 Forest. So he's hopeful that the trees can, remove the sting from the bees, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, Leon, if you're still watching, give us your thoughts about your season. Like Manny said, give us your thoughts and your thoughts with Sean Dyche. Are you confident with him? Are you confident that he's going to turn things around? And how far are you going to go into that Europa League? Would you guys qualify for it? Let's see. Okay, then. That's all predictions for that game. Over. Next one. Rosenior's Chelsea's bounce. Chelsea bounce to continue against Weekend Palace. Yeah, I mean, look, they've got a PE teacher with Liam Rosnier. Listen, he's absolutely funny, man. Every time when I'm watching him, he's always talking a bit nonsense. But yeah, listen, they've appointed him. He's so far in the league, in the Premier League, he's unbeaten. Woohoo! But yeah, they've got Palace away. I mean, I was gonna say it's a test for him, but Palace at the minute, oh my days! I mean, some of the things, you know what's funny? Some of the things Glasner has said. If he was at Man United, he would have been sacked ages ago. So I don't know how the Palace board have not sacked Glasner, but he has spoken a lot. He's even called out the board saying, "Oh, why did they not deal with this Gray situation properly? Like he was not aware of it. Like he was frustrated. He couldn't even let him play for his last game. Like, yeah, I mean, this is why I didn't want Glasner, because he's going to speak. And owners with Glazers, they don't like when managers speak up against them. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna say Chelsea win here, because Palace, again, I mentioned this a few times in the channel. Like when the manager announces that he's leaving, and then the players hear about this, I just feel like players will just say, you know what, there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing to play for anyways with Glasson. So, yeah, I'm not saying Palace are going to go down or anything. They'll finish somewhere mid-table. But, yeah, I'm gonna say Palace to lose this. I'll say Chelsea to win this 2-1. 2-1 to Chelsea for me. And, yeah, Liam Rosnier is going to win it at Palace Stadium. Manny, what says you?
Yeah, I agree with the what you say in the scoreline. It's really sad to see Palace just going so far down a bit and seeing more and more players wanting to jump ship and walk away. And I really don't know how they're going to, make it next season with a new manager and definitely a new squad. All we can do is hope that they will stay, that still stay strong and continue to fight hard. And there's always going to be this fear that clubs like Palace and Newcastle and Villa and even others who want to try and, achieve things and try and build themselves up will always be smacked back down by those who have more money. It's sad, but, I guess that's the way the cycle runs. And, I can't see beyond the Chelsea win, but Chelsea are not by any means the finished product under Rosenior, and there are still some teething issues. And bear in mind, they will be coming up against us in the League Cup semi-final second leg with some points to prove. We may have the advantage, but we cannot be so stupid as to rest on them and assume that this Chelsea team will roll over, because believe me, they'll be determined to get us back. As far as this game is concerned, I can't see beyond the Chelsea win, but it'll be tight again. It won't be a really dominating win. 2-1, as you say.
Cool. Nice one. Harry, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a tight and cagey game at Selhurst Park. But yeah, obviously Palace are just a mess at the moment with, potentially Glasner could still get fired before he even leaves at the end of the season. Comments he's making towards the board and that. But yeah, obviously Chelsea, it's been a positive start for Rosenior. I'd say obviously only been a few games so far, but they've looked okay. And yeah, I think they should pick up all 3 points here. So I'm going to say I do think they'll keep a clean sheet, but they'll win. They'll win 1-0 in this one down at Selhurst Park. So yeah, 1-0 to Chelsea. I'm saying.
Fair enough. Jonathan adds that, which I agree with. I don't want Glasner because he plays the same system as Ruben Amorim. Yeah, exactly. I don't want that as well. Jonathan also agrees with 2-1 Chelsea. Nice one. But guys, don't forget to smash the likes if you're tuning now. Smash the likes. Subscribe, because we're very soon to talk about the main event, Sky Sports. So very soon, guys. And yeah, because I want everyone to be hearing what I have to say about that game soon. So yeah. Okay then, moving over, because we've done our predictions. Next game is 2 teams on a European high. Who rises higher and who comes crashing down, which is Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Interesting one. I'll let you start off with first. Newcastle Villa. How do you see it?
I think it'll be quite an entertaining game to watch. Obviously, both teams played during the week in Europe, both getting wins. I think Newcastle won 3-0, I believe, against PSV. Villa got a narrow win in Turkey against Fenerbahce. So yeah, obviously might be a little bit of fatigue there, which is sort of why I think it'll be a close game and both sides could cancel each other out here. I think Villa have struggled in recent times going to St James's Park. They've not won there very often, so I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. I think both teams still might be feeling tiredness of playing in weeks. So yeah, I'll go the 1-1 at St James's Park.
Okay, nice one. Enough money.
Yeah, on paper this should be a little bit straightforward, but you very rarely have games done on paper, and I think it's fair to say that after that amazing run of form, which saw them get propelled up into the Champions League places, I think Villa have started to slip a little bit. That loss to Everton at home was, pretty poor, although you could say that quite a few players had an off day. Ollie Watkins, Pau Torres, and I think Emi Martinez probably should have done better for the goal, but it was really a case of some very poor defending as well from, Torres and everyone else, I would say. Obviously, both teams are doing quite well in Europe, and Villa can still be happy with where they are at this stage of the season. And some great news as well is that their former striker, Tammy Abraham, who also had links with Chelsea, has sealed a return to the club on a permanent deal from Besiktas for a nominal fee. And he's even agreed to a pay cut to return to Villa Park. So that will give Villa some more reason to be cheerful. I don't know if he will be in the squad for Sunday's game. If he is, it'll be a bonus. But Ollie Watkins is seriously in need of some competition. And of course, Leon Bailey has come back from his loan deal with Roma. So I think Villa are at that stage right now where in January there will be a little bit of flux as they try and, readjust the squad. They had to sell Daniel Marlon to Roma and have Bailey come back the other way. And I think they could still end up going on a pretty good run of form where they start picking up points and winning games. I think the title will probably be beyond them, but again, you can never tell. But they should still secure Champions League football, and I still have them as favourites to win the Europa League. Of course, it's Unai Emery. He's the Europa League specialist, I think Chelsea fan has predicted that there could be a 2-2 draw. I'm going to stick my neck out here and say, though, that Newcastle might probably just edge this 2-1 because, it's St. James's Park. It's an absolute cauldron, and you seldom go there and get a good result. You have to earn that. And Newcastle will be very determined, and it will be dependent on who plays in Villa's backline because the prospect of Nick Voltemade and company going up against Villa's defence will certainly send shivers down their spine. I think they will probably have to start someone like Tyrone Mings alongside Ezri Konsa and have Victor Lindelof come on, former United defender, of course, who seems to be playing a lot better away from Old Trafford, as is Jadon Sancho. So it will be interesting. I think Jonathan agrees with me that Newcastle might just edge this. Don't get me wrong. If Villa do win this, they deserve all the credit they can get. But I just don't know if I can see that happening. Newcastle have been a bit of a bogey team for Villa over the years.
Yeah, I'm gonna also back you guys and say Newcastle win this. I think if Villa Park, then I'll go something different. But because it's at St James, fans could be like up for it. I think Newcastle win this 2-1 as well. So yeah, I mean, if like I said, man, if Villa got gold there, St James Park and win, fair play. Credits to Unai Emery and the team, but I just think that it'll be rocking and Newcastle win this. So yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if Voltemade scores as well. So yeah, let's see how that game pans out. But yeah, we've got 2 more games to discuss. Obviously, we're going to discuss the Monday night game first. Monday night Premiership clash, old school style, Everton versus Leeds.
Yes.
Manny, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, having clashes like this is why, you want to see Premiership football. Leeds and Everton are both founder members of the Premier League. And of course, we see an old boy reunion and Dominic Calvert-Lewin returning to his old stomping ground. Apparently, Everton decided that they didn't really need him anymore, but Leeds took him in, and he's been a revelation for them, quite simply. And it will be interesting to see if he actually scores a few of the goals, which could actually knock his former team off their perch. Both teams, of course, winning in the previous game week by a 1-0 scoreline. It might be easy to say that these teams will cancel each other out, but with the news that Jackie Grealish, Chuck E. Cheese, as he is known to some people, is now out with a stress fracture, it could potentially mean that Everton might be weakened. And I had thought that they wouldn't have Grealish or Keane for the Villa game, but sadly they had already served their suspension in the FA Cup game. I don't know how that works, but it is what it is. And I actually think that Leeds are continuing to ride the crest of the wave under Farke, and they really should be a little bit higher up in the table. I will say now that they will definitely avoid. I think they have more than enough about them to avoid relegation, more than Forest and United. It's surprising that they are only 3 points ahead of Nottingham Forest right now. But I'm actually going to go for a little bit of a shock here and say that Leeds United and Calvert-Lewin come away from the Bramley Docklands with a win. And I'm going to go for 2-1 because Calvert-Lewin will be eager to put one over on them for deciding that they no longer trusted him. It's going to be epic.
Okay. Harry, what about you? What do you think?
I'm not entirely sure what to make of this game, if I'm being completely honest. I actually don't see there being many goals in this game. This is a tough one to predict because obviously Everton are quite higher up in the league than Leeds, but if you look at the form, it's been quite similar. So I feel like it's going to be quite a cagey game. So I haven't got much to say about this game. I think it'll be a 0-0 draw. I can't see much happening. I do think it could be a ball fest on Monday Night Football. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's plenty of goals, but I just think two decent defences are going to cancel each other out, and I think it'll be a 0-0 draw between these two sides there.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm also in a similar boat to you, Aaron, because I don't know how this game is going to go, but something in my mind tells me that Leeds go there and get a clean sheet win. So I'm going to say 1-0 to Leeds, Calvert-Lewin to score. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 3 points. I think Everton have been, they haven't been the best at their stadium at Goodison Park, or where the new stadium that they're playing at. But I'm still going to call it Goodison Park. But listen. No, Jack Grealish is also a big miss for them as well. So, Jack and Cheese, AK, if you're watching, big up to you. But, 1-0 Leeds for me. I think Leeds will get the 3 points. And Daniel Farke, gets the winner. So, Chelsea fan said in the comments, Everton to win 2-1. Fair enough. Okay, fair play. It will be interesting to who the goal scorers will be, but we'll see. I think, who is it? Garner Gate is still not available because I think David Moyes said about that he's not ready yet to play, which is find a bit interesting. But he's probably furious about that, and rightfully so. But that's what the chat's saying. And Jonathan says 0-0 over to Leeds. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Okay then, I think that's all the predictions locked in. We've got one game left, and everyone should know what's about. Top of the table, Gunners, whatever you want to call it, and the resurgent Red Devils. The box office popcorn Sunday. Manny, you are the host. Is that Emirates? Talk to me, Manny.
What can I say? I will say this right now. There are quite a few people in the online blogosphere, the Arsenal blogosphere, who are predicting that we might find this very difficult against you lot, and that you actually might end up coming away from the Emirates with a point. Now, I will recall that our recent record in the league against United is actually pretty good. I don't recollect us having lost a home game for quite some time. Obviously, that damaging 2-4 home loss in 2004, 2005 springs to mind, and there might have been one or two others in between. But more often than not, I think we've pretty much had the bit between our teeth when it comes to playing you. And I'm especially reminded of a game, I think it was in 2022-23. You lot went ahead through a Marcus Rashford goal, if memory serves me right, but then we equalised and scored 2 late goals, one from Declan Rice, and I think one from Gabby Jesus to sort of snatch it away in the last few minutes. And we seem to have this knack of being able to get these late equalisers or late winners in games like this. And I think, we seem to be up for it. Now, I'm not saying that you won't be. I think you'll be very determined to try and continue this resurgence, but it was just one game where, you literally were motivated to start on a high note and do a good job for the incoming Michael Carrick. And, you literally put City to the sword and you deserve that win. I don't know if that will necessarily continue, but a lot of people are saying that it will. And you could end up getting a point from us because a United with supposedly nothing to play for is very dangerous. And I disagree when people say that United have nothing to play for because you're currently in 5th, occupying the Europa League position. You're 1 point behind Liverpool, who are in 4th. So there's nothing to suggest that you won't be able to go on a pretty good run and, end up knocking out one of the teams that are currently in the top 4. It could very well be that Aston Villa, if they don't get their act together, might end up dropping out. But then, of course, Villa can always win the Europa League and get back into the CL. We'll find out. For me, my lineup, before I come to my prediction, will probably be the lineup that I would like to see being played. But for obvious reasons, it's not going to happen because Arteta has his favourites, you see. If I never see Jurrien Timber playing at left back again, it will be too soon. He's literally a duck out of water, and he just can't, maintain any challenge from any pacey right winger. Now, of course, you can say the same definitely about Miles Lewis-Skelly, but for what it's worth, he has had a few decent games in that left back position, and maybe if he were to cut into the midfield, he could possibly be more of a match for your midfield. I don't know if it'll include Casemiro, who'll be leaving the club at the end of the season, but we'll have to see. So it's Timber, Gabby, Big Willie, and Miles Lewis-Skelly in the back 4. Ray, obviously, in goal. I would like to see a 4-2-3-1 with Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi playing in the double pivot. Because Zubimendi obviously does have a great deal of technical ability about him, but he has to be the one going forward in the 8. Rice can play a more defensive role. Then Ebery Eze in the 10. Saka on the right. I'd probably say Trossard on the left with Martinelli to come on and maybe try and get a late winner or a late equaliser. And then Victor Gyökeres on his own up front. We play our best football in a 4-2-3-1 formation with a lone striker. Whenever we adopt a 4-3-3, for some reason it becomes at times a bit turgid, and I'm not really too fond of it. And I don't like playing MLS at left back, but we have to try and make do with it. The only other option would be to stick Timber on the left and bring in Benny Blanco, which I do not like one bit, but we all know that it won't be Eze, it'll be Odegaard who starts, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he opts to rest Zubimendi and play Marino. And if Rice is still struggling physically, then we have to bite the bullet and play Christian Norgard. I don't even know why. But, obviously, we've got a lot of banter about this with some predictions. I'm actually going to go for a very stinky, ugly, but very important 2-1 win. And I agree with Chelsea fan here. I think we'll somehow find a way to get a winner. And it'll be 3 more points, which maintains our charge towards the title. But if we draw or lose and City and Villa pick up wins, the race is back on. And it's around about this time that the doubts suddenly start to creep in. And our subsequent features from now until the end of the season, they're not going to be easy, mind you.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Jonathan's put in 2 comments here. I'm going to read them out. He says, best performance I've seen from United in years. You could argue the best since Alex Ferguson. I'm predicting Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, or could be a draw. I really fancy us against Arsenal. Well, yeah. This is the bit where probably Flair will probably clip this up because I'm going to tell him to clip this up. And the reason I'm going to tell him to clip this up because it's going to happen. Manchester United are going to go to the Emirates and win. There will be a Michael Carrick outclass again, yet again. Yeah. And in terms of the lineup, I expect Arteta to play Ben White right back and Timber left back. Obviously, that's not what fans would hope to see that, but I think he's going to do that anyways. You'll probably risk Rice as with Mendy as well. He'll play out with the guard. But I genuinely think we can have Arsenal. I think Carrick should keep the same team against City, keep the same lineup. You know, Customer, obviously, I've seen that he's announced that he's leaving. A bit emotional, but listen, he's an icon of the game. Not, I wouldn't say United legend because he's more of a Real Madrid's legend. But what Customer has done for us, really, really phenomenal. A leader. I'd say like a true captain for me. So, yeah, it's quite sad to see him go, but for me, I'm not surprised. I saw it coming as well. I'm expecting Bruno to do the same as well. So, yeah, listen, I genuinely think we can have these lot. I genuinely think because how good our defense was against City, I think if they remain focused, fully focused for 9 minutes, we can do something. So, you know what, Jonathan, I'm going to go with you. I'm gonna go 2-1 Manchester United win. I'm going to say Brian and Brumman to score. And I'm going to say Amad Diallo to score as well. And for Arsenal, it'll probably be Gabriel corner. But we have to, honestly, if we want to win this game, we have to bear in mind how good they are with their set pieces, corners, free kicks, everything. We have to remain focused. And Carrick, I believe in you, and I believe in your tactic for Sunday. So listen, Carrick, please prove me right and go out there because you know what? So far his record's okay. You know, he's obviously he's been Arsenal before. I know he's a different team and everything, but he's been Arsenal before. Against the big teams, he's got a good record. So Carrick and the boys will be. Listen, I want to see this performance every game, not just one or two games.
What's your lineup for Sunday? What do you think Carrick will play?
Lineup for Sunday, I think Carrick plays the same 11 against City. So Lamens in goal, back four, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. Midfield of Mainu, Casemiro, Bruno, and then front three of Ahmad. Ahmad. It was Ahmad and Bremo and Dorgu. Yes, Dorgu. That's that. There we go, Dorgu. And Dorgu, you know what? Dorgu has been fantastic. You know, that goal against City, that's a brilliant strike. So good to see that.
Yeah. Especially if Dorgu plays on the left, mind you, I think it's fair to say that whoever plays at right back will have to watch out for him. If it's Timber, I'm confident, but if it's Ben White, maybe not so much, but he can do a decent job. And, all I can say is may the better team win.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm going to say 2-1 United. Harry, what about you?
Obviously, this is going to be a massive game on Super Sunday. Obviously, United's buoyed by their crucial win in Manchester Derby last weekend against a really poor City side, who generally looked awful in that game. But Arsenal, obviously, they've had a in the last two games in the Premier League have been some very turgid 0-0 draws, but in the Champions League, of course, over the week we went to the San Siro and won, was it 3-0 or 3-1, I believe, which is not an easy thing to do. They won 7 out of 7 games so far in the Champions League phase, and you know what? I think that confidence is gonna come into this Premier League game, and I can see Arsenal just winning this one. I could possibly see them go even further, points clear of Man City at the top. So yeah, I agree. I agree with Manny. I think Arsenal will get a very important 2-1 win, and that's how I see it finishing at the Emirates this weekend.
Yeah, just to say, I just think we're gonna the tactic for us is low block, hit them on the counter as possible. But the thing is, I say low block, but we are going to be low block. But I want to Emirates. We're not going to have that same performance that we played against City because that was at Old Trafford, so it's going to be way different. But our tactic is low block. Let Arsenal have possession. That's fine. But when we have possession, hit them. Yeah, be proactive at the end.
Yeah, that Rice Casemiro duel will definitely be something to savour, and it'll be interesting to see how Zubimendi also manoeuvres his way. And I think Mainu's resurgence now under Carrick will be very interesting. And of course, a big piece of trivia and why I'm so confident is that the last time United beat Arsenal in the Premiership was in 2017 by a score of 3-1. Having said that, though, I've got the list of results over here. The last time, of course, you played us at Old Trafford in the FA Cup was in that third round. You beat us on penalties. And also in the fourth round of the FA Cup in 2019, you beat us 3-1. You seem to have the measure of us when it comes to knockout competitions, so I'll give you that. But I'll tell you what, we need to take revenge for last season's FA Cup exit. Kai Havertz, David Raya, even Martin Odegaard, hang your heads in shame. Altay Bayindir having the game of his life. Sad to see what's happened to him since.
No, yeah, exactly. True that. True. Yeah. I mean, listen, yeah, we and look, I was going to mention that in the FA Cup we've been absolutely amazing as us because we beat them last season in the FA Cup third round, and then obviously, the cup before that. So yeah, listen, look, in the league's been absolutely shambles. Like as many mentioned, it's been 9 years since we last won at the Emirates in the Premier League. So that's mental when you hear it. So we have to break that record. Carrick, you're going to break it for me this Sunday. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I just think I'm hoping Ahmed, Mbemo, and Dogu are relentless, and are whenever goal scoring opportunity they get it. So yeah, because I really think we can get at them. Ahmed, please rise up. Yeah, and Mbemo, come on. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Obviously, midfield battleship, as Manny says, Rice versus Casemiro. Next section, Manu versus Zubimendi. It's gonna be interesting. It's interesting to see how this game pans out. So, yeah, all the best team. May all the best team win, and let's see what the outcome is. So, yeah, I think that's the predictions locked in. Fulham is going to be a big test for us. Can we do against smaller teams? I hope, Jonathan. I really hope so. But yeah, I mean, if United win it, title race for Carrick, who knows? Because if we win it, we'll be 12 points away from Arsenal. So. United could be involved in the title race as well, but listen, I'm not deluded to think that United can win the league anyway, so don't worry. But I'm just hypothetically thinking.
But Champions League is not unrealistic, so you could go for it.
Yeah,
never say never.
So yeah, personally for me, I think we get top 4, and I think Carrick stays as well. I think they'll give him. I think they'll give him the permanent manager for me. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for me. I don't think I've missed any comments. Nope, I haven't. And yeah, I think Harry's already mentioned his scores. That's good. So yeah. What's gonna happen, guys? Is there gonna be a sending off before we end it? Any red cards in this game? Or is it gonna be like a clean one?
I think it should be clean. I can't see a sending off. There are some obvious candidates for a sending off on either team, but I think both teams will be eager to make sure they keep their noses clean and their uniforms dirty, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear that. But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think we're clean as well.
Cool.
There won't be any red cards. So we want to keep our heads cool in this one.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay then. Yeah, that's it then. I think that's it for now. We'll discuss all the games. And yeah, let's see how the Sunday box office goes. 4:30, obviously Roy Keane will be there. There's Roy Keane and other players, but in the pundits. But yeah, we'll wrap off then. Harry, big up to you. Where can we find you?
Yeah, once again, a massive thank you for having me on the channel. Yeah, been a good one tonight with you boys. I've enjoyed it, and yeah, do make sure to subscribe to RS Talks Football because I see plenty more of us each week, doing and occasionally reviewing the weeks as well. So yeah, but if you wanna come check out me as well, you can find me on YouTube, Honey Gun. But I'm more proactive on TikTok these days. That's at Harry20, where I post a lot about my local club in the EFL, Bristol City, where a lot has happened for us recently. We've recently, unfortunately, lost Anthony to Ipswich. I know you're upset about that one already. Yeah, literally just happened today.
Was it on loan or was it permanent?
It was a permanent deal. We got
my God, unbelievable.
Yeah, we got pretty 3 million for him in the end because it was a cut price, unfortunately, because his contract was up at the end of the season. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. So it's been a little bit of unrest between fans and the owners there because we seem to be signing a lot of players this January, not really bringing in a lot of incomings, but hopefully still time to go before the end of the window. But yeah, subscribe to our rest so find more of us, and thank you for having me on once again, and big up to Manny, Orest, big up to the chat, and see you again very soon. Cheers having me on, lads.
No worries, Harry. Big up to you. Hang on a minute. Yeah, big up to you, Harry, man. Jonathan says, I think Manchester City's going to struggle to playoffs. No, let's see, man. Let's see. But last but not least, Manny, co-host, where can we find you?
Yeah, well, for starters, you can find me over here on Oris Talks Football. And you can also catch me on quite a few other channels on YouTube. Big up as well to my guy, Rashid, from the Learned Arsenal Fan. I was on a stream with him yesterday and several other fans. And I will actually be online with him on Sunday at 3 p.m. UK, where we discuss the starting lineups for Arsenal and maybe Manchester United. So maybe, Orest, if you would like to come on as a Manchester United fan, I can introduce you to him and you guys can have a nice little chin wag, if you like. And I will definitely send you the link for that for sure. And also catch me on Up the Cherries in all departments. We will be doing a transfer special this coming Sunday, which it was supposed to be for today, but due to circumstances, it's been postponed. And also on several Spurs channels, Spurs Asian TV with Eugene, and also the Spurs Danalist with Dan. I don't just stay in my bubble. I like to go on different channels and offer some perspectives. And it's nice when you can, just get out of your comfort zone, get out of your own bubble, and talk about other teams in a more respectful manner. And I never go on as a rabble-rouser. You want to catch me on social media? It's Manny Thangatherai 1981 on Instagram and Threads. It's Thangatherai 1981 on Twitter. And there's nothing much else to say, except I'm really looking forward to this upcoming weekend. It should be a great deal of fun. And, January's getting over. Obviously, a lot of deals are being done and dusted, and it will be interesting to see which teams end up having the better windows and which squads might end up being improved as a result. So, like I said, looking forward to seeing how everything pans out, and I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves, be safe and be happy. Do unto others as you'd have others do unto you, and don't do anything that the panel and I wouldn't do. Until then, as always, it's farewell and adieu, and God bless.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up everyone that's joined tonight in the comments. Really, really appreciate comments. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this big game against Arsenal. Can we actually break the record? Long record at Emirates. Let's see what happens. And I think Jonathan mentioned about Bristol in the struggle. Yeah, it's shocking, man, because I always used to mention to Harry about Anthony Murty, but yeah, it's very unfortunate he's gone down to Ipswich. But listen, look, make sure you guys do follow us on socials on YouTube, Oris Football, TikTok, Oris Football, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Oris Footy, and Instagram, same handle as the YouTube channel, which is Oris Football. And Jonathan also adds in, big up everyone, have a good weekend, and let the best team win. Come on, United. Yes, come on, United. Come on, Carrick. And there's been a great stream. We discussed all the games. And I'm glad that it wasn't a 2-hour stream. And I'm glad that, we've had our thoughts. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully there'll be some surprises coming in. And then teams might drop points. Liverpool might drop points. Tottenham, they could drop points as well. So let's see. Hopefully Arsenal lose as well. So let's see. It should be a good one. And I'll definitely be on that 3 p.m. one as well, Manny. So you could remind me, then I'll be sure to join that one. But guys, it's been a good one. Follow us, and we'll see you soon. Peace.